That was...
We've never done that before?
No.
That shit was on point.
No, first
that
time.
That never happens.
That was good.
Harmony.
But now I got to set this shit back up.
Relax, Papa. Look. Double searing over here. Bicho.
Yo, you know
Out
what's
here.
crazy? Let me tell y'all something.
Go ahead.
Before we really start.
All right.
One thing that nobody told me about the vasectomy. Well, okay, one person told me. But I wasn't, it was one person. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Right.
They don't talk about this. I lost propulsion in my
You nuts?
explosion. Yeah. It doesn't go as far.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't understand. Well, I do understand it, but basically it has to do with, I think I don't fucking understand it. But I lost propulsion. And he said he lost propulsion. And it doesn't really change anything major, but it's like, it's psychologically.
Wait, so y'all were talking about nuts?
Oh, yeah, we talk about everything.
No, it's probably like, because, you know, they not really swimming, so
Nah,
they can't
I
help
think it
with
has
the...
to do with the muscle because you're cutting that little piece, and it has to do with, I think, the amount of force that can.
You might, so it might be, you might have to build that muscle back up.
Yeah,
You know,
work it
like
out.
fucking do your Kegels or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck it is for men, you know? Fucking squeeze.
Yeah,
That's
but I
what
mean,
it
you don't need it to go far. You know what I'm saying? It's just dope.
Right. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's just.
Yeah.
Where are you letting off? The boy is going, wow.
I just sometimes you got to see. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand completely. You know,
Oh shit. Okay. So this is it, bro. Episode 5.
6.
Oh shit, I'm all messed up. Episode. Thank you for the correction. We just had this conversation.
Yeah.
So episode 6, and we got the bro, man. Hob, stop playing.
stop
boy.
playing. What's goody?
Yes,
Hob,
sir.
Stop playing. We appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate y'all always. You
For
know what it
those
is.
who don't know and cannot tell, these brothers are brothers. You
Yes.
know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Like
My
real
older brother.
brothers. Like
Yeah.
they came from the same woman. So
Yeah.
that's dope. I'm glad to have you on.
Shout out,
man.
ma.
Yeah,
shout
I was
out,
about
man.
to go wild with that. I was like, I came out the vagina and he came out the belly. But
C-section, yeah.
same woman.
Oh, yeah.
Same woman.
Oh, because
yeah,
you
yeah.
had me for a second. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
About
Not
to
the
go
same
wild?
process, but same woman.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what, you know, if you were a woman,
Yeah.
do you think you would, if you could pick, which they can, but I mean, do you think you would choose a vaginal birth or a C-section birth if you had to give birth?
I think I pussy out and just,
Wait,
just cut
literally?
it out.
Okay. I
Oh,
thought-
no, no. I put, oh. Nah, I don't think I would go the all natural. I'd be
even
like, nah.
even if you didn't have any reason, like there was no medical reason, you were just like, nah, I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah.
I wonder how many do it that, like how many do that.
No, I don't think they choose that anymore, right?
They can. I
They
mean, you
can?
you're paying.
Yeah,
for
you
it,
probably,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
that's true.
Well, I don't know. I think I just try to go traditional way.
saying? Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah,
because
natural.
I've been a big dude my whole life in body insecurities and all that stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and I know that plays a factor in women with C-sections as well. So
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Like it
that's-
could be worse. Yeah.
yeah, they
well,
think about how it is and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I know personally probably.
Yeah, that
I
you
probably feel some type of way like, damn, Papa.
Yeah.
For
Well,
me,
It's
I
hard for
mean-
me to look at big dudes now with the little stomach split. You know what I mean? And I'd
Yeah.
be like, damn, I can't get
why
that
would they
big.
have it? Oh,
No,
because
they're too big. You know, when you get too
Oh,
big,
yeah.
that they got the stomach split.
that shit splits into two.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
wild.
And I'm already a big dude, so I get a little.
Yeah.
I'll be like, come on, Papa, you need to get it together.
You can't get the two.
Start
Don't get the
drinking-
two.
Start drinking water.
For me, mainly, it's just because I ain't no bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn. We take it.
No, childbirth is crazy, bro.
Wow.
I cannot imagine. I've tried to imagine, and I can't. You
They
know what I'm
have the
saying?
machine,
Bro.
I'll try. We should try that machine one time.
What
That would be the simulator.
simulator, yeah.
The simulator.
of childbirth?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the pains that you would
Contractions and
get. Yeah.
stuff like that, something like
Oh, I think it was the contractions. More. I don't
That's
think.
a thing,
I don't think
bro?
you ever be able to simulate
we
that.
should buy that and do it on the show.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
But I was on my mind because obviously we just had our third kid. So
Congratulations.
Right.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Shout out Jessica for that birthing experience.
Shout out
And
Jessica.
I don't know if I
Hope.
told you, we did a home birth. Did we tell you we were gonna do a home
no,
birth?
no, no.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a surprise.
Bro, home birth, crazy difference. Like if y'all have more kids, y'all gonna have more kids?
No, no, thank you.
If y'all have more, definitely do a home birth
Home birth.
for sure. Yeah.
Was it in like an in-ground pool, like a little kiddie pool, or how you
Yeah,
put it?
it was in
it
a
was
kiddie
a water
pool
birth,
and
like a
yeah.
water birth type deal.
Wild
Nice.
experience.
Okay.
I just recommend. I didn't want to like dwell on that, but I just recommend anybody
With a
who
doula
has the
and all that
choice.
stuff. Like that.
Yeah,
I got you.
we had 3 midwives there, so we was armied up. Bro.
With a
yeah,
whole
y'all was
staff.
staffed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
it
were
was
the chief
dope.
of staff.
It was 2 and then a student, like a student midwife.
Okay.
But I mean, to basically midwives.
Which is pretty good, you know, when we had Xavier, well, not we. When she had Xavier, we had a student that gave birth. Like he was his first
for
birth.
real?
No
It was his
way.
First birthday, he was working. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Pop the cherry.
Wait, y'all nervous? Were y'all nervous about that?
I was good. He was nervous. He was looking at me the whole time. I'm like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you don't do your job, bro.
He was like, yo, you all right with this?
Joanna said she felt him shaking in his side. I was like, oh, look at him. Now he getting freaky and shit.
Hey, hold on, player.
You imagine that? Like your first time doing that, and then you're looking at the husband like, yo, I swear I'm not trying nothing, bro.
Nah, you gotta be.
Obviously, no one thinking that, but
You definitely don't make eye contact in those situations, though. You just
Eye for eye.
you imagine he.
No, it was
Staring
you
wild.
at
see me, bro?
No, definitely.
Shout out to all the moms out there.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day just passed by too. So happy Mother's Day to
Yeah,
everybody.
Definitely shout out moms.
It's crazy.
For sure.
Wouldn't be able to do it.
So what you gonna say something?
Yeah, let's introduce Hav.
Yeah. I was gonna
Hav,
say
man.
what you got going on, bro. You got any new projects? What you working on? Tell us about what you got going on, man.
Man, just I cook. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Chef JavStopPlayin. That's me. Music. I always try to just creative outlet. Painting has been a new just creative outlet. Not
I
even
love
trying
it.
to take it. You know what I'm saying? But I just like being a creator and doing everything like that. That's gonna inspire people to be better for
Yeah.
themselves. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Sometimes you just get caught up mentally, and I feel like if you don't have an outlet, you'll choose a negative outlet,
Yeah.
which you don't realize at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Unconsciously, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's been my new thing is just try to find stuff that's gonna be beneficial to me and benefit the family, of course. You know what I'm saying? So I can include them in all of that.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? But
That's the best part when you find the stuff that you can have. You're spending family time and doing what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know, so but the most recent project that I've been working on is a hot sauce. I've been making hot sauce.
Fire.
Spicy.
Definitely.
Good on everything.
Yeah. Personally, is when you cook and you try to deliver and everything like that. I just wanted something that's gonna be like merch that I can have, a consistent product that I can always have for sale, and that's what I'm trying to work on. But you know what I'm saying? Stop playing hot sauce.
That's fire.
Stop playing.
Let's see it. Let's see
You
it.
know what I
Ooh,
mean?
sample.
You know what I mean?
Let's see. Bring it up to the camera.
This is the camera. I'll bring it up to the camera. If y'all don't see it, but the art of the hot sauce was started by a painting, actually by Philby, the grassy knoll. So he was definitely a big inspiration on the actual label of the hot sauce. And everything just came together with the colors and all the beauty of orange, my favorite color. Stop playing colors, and that's it. Now, hopefully, soon.
It's crazy
Soon
how
come.
the artwork came about too, because Philby had no idea of it and he just created that, right? And then you were actually searching for something other than orange that kind of matched with the whole vibe of the hot sauce, which is green.
Yeah.
So the two coming together is crazy. The
What was it-
coincidence.
what
And
was
then
wild,
and
man?
then you got a cut and fucking you were like, "Oh shit."
The painting.
Yeah.
He had the painting.
He had the
sitting
painting
over
there.
there on the couch, and I was like, "Nah, that painting. I've been looking for something like that." And then, literally at the end of the cut, I was just like, "Yo, Philby, how much for the painting?"
Yeah.
I said, "Philby, what's your cash app?" I didn't even ask him how much. I said, "What's the cash app?" He's like, "What are you talking about? Like, you got to cut with your brother?" I said, "No, what's your cash app? Because I'm gonna buy the painting off of you." And that's it. I just bought the painting. I told him that it inspired me to start working on the artwork for the hot sauce, and then
Yeah,
literally
bro.
within
That's
2
fire.
weeks,
That's love, bro.
I had everything. No,
You
that
had the
was
label,
yeah.
you had everything done. That shit was
Yeah.
crazy.
It was dope the way that worked out, man. Because when I came back and you said that, the first thought was like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" Like, what? And then I asked you again, and you was like, "Bro, just what's your cash?"
Send me the
app?"
fucking cash.
And you know what's funny? Like that's the type of shit my dad would always do. Like,
Yeah.
like he's trying to make a move and he's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just try to tell you whatever. But then you already kind of past that point where you're about to know. But he's like, just give it to me. Like, just let me do what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So you reminded me of my pops when
So I'm
you
gonna
did
try
that.
to do it the cool way, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me pay it.
But I
that's
love
how we grew up, so that's what it is.
Exactly, yeah.
There's a lot of times that my father used to always just pay for people and off the strength, just cause there's a lot of family stuff like that. So I learned that a lot of times we all have those tendencies to try to do some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sneak pay or be like, you know what I mean, all that. good
It always
stuff.
feels good too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not always about. Even if you know the person isn't necessarily hurting, they don't. It's not like they need it, but it's
Right.
just a cool like thing to do. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And it
convenience,
feels
yeah.
good. Then like you. I don't know, man. There's something about that kind of generosity. I've been watching a lot of videos too on like the little shorts where people would give out a lot of give people an opportunity to do something nice,
Right.
and then if they do, they get paid back tenfold. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying,
yo,
yeah.
I'm hurting. You think you could spare like $1 or something,
Yeah.
whatever? And then mad people say no. One person says yes, and then they're like, yo, actually keep that $1. Here's 500.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Or 10
Which
G's.
yeah,
Those videos are great content, by the way.
they are. They
Fucking
are.
great
It
content.
feels so good to
Yeah,
see that,
'cause it's
especially
natural.
and you know that person is hurting. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Especially if they go up to a homeless person or whatever. Or there's another guy who does it with homeless people, but he'll go up and ask them like, "Yo, is there anything I could do for you? Like anything you want, anything I could do?" And then it's just interesting to hear how they respond. You know, because it's
Yeah.
not always give me money or
Yeah.
give me this. You know, and how he plays that out is dope.
A most recent one. My bad.
Go ahead.
Most recent one that I just seen. It was amazing. Is this guy? He goes to Home Depot and he's this white guy, and then he's going to Home Depot asking for workers. 3 workers. Yo, I need 3 workers. They all get in the car. He said, "Yo, we going to Disneyland." Yo, takes them on a fucking full day to Disneyland. Everything. You know,
Pays for everything.
Pays for everything, and they have the best fucking day.
That's
You know, they
funny.
all riding roller coasters and shit.
It's actually a Spanish dude. That dude.
Oh
does-
fuck, my
yeah,
fault.
No, he does content like that, and he goes to a lot of street vendors, and he
Uh-huh.
helps out a lot of stuff. He either buys their whole stuff and has them work a full day.
That's the same guy.
Same
Okay.
guy. He does all that type of stuff, which is dope. You know what I mean? I like that type of content rather than like going up to a homeless dude and asking them what they want. Sometimes it's almost like just do it.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
record those things, but like the kindness test, I understand. Like you see how even when people are struggling, that they still have a nice heart, a great
Yeah.
heart
Yep.
to be like, you know what, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might
I
need
feel
it.
that, and I feel both ways because I used to not really like when people would do shit for homeless people and post it. I used to be kind of feel that way about it, but the way that he does it is, to me, I kind of receive it a little different, only because I feel like it's about getting. It's not about like him giving them something. It's about understanding their mindset. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
To be like, oh, like this person is in this state of mind, has no idea that somebody's about to approach them, and when he asks you, "Is there anything I can do for you? Anything at all?" To hear what it is that they're asking for. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got
and
you.
then when he goes a little step further, and then a little step further. Crazy example. One of the last ones I saw, ladies on the street, looks homeless, has the sign, everything. He does that. She ends up saying, what is he? Shoot. You know what? I forgot what the first thing was. But I forgot what the initial thing was. But then, she ends up saying, that's what it is. She goes, oh, well, to be honest, I'm not actually homeless. But we're hurting. We're going through stuff. And we need our light bill paid. And he's like, no problem. He's like, I don't even care that you're lying on the sign. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm still going to help you.
Nice.
So then he takes her to the house. He doesn't say that, but he doesn't. Then she goes to the house, and it's like a house, obviously. And and then the guy in the house, her husband, is like, we already paid the light bill. And then then there's that, right? And then he could have just been like, this motherfucker. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then he goes, okay, look, the light bill's paid. Is there anything else I could do for you? Like, this guy really doesn't care. Like,
Yeah, he
he's
just
just
wants
gonna
to
do
help.
something. And then the guy goes, well, you can buy us the rest of our Thanksgiving dinner. You know, like, I guess they didn't have enough or whatever. So then they give him a grocery list. He goes to the store, loads up the grocery list, comes back, and then he ends up giving them everything anyway. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is that it was interesting to see how something where most people, like for me especially, I would think, damn, she's lying. Like, I would instantly be like, bro, I'm not giving you nothing. Like, why are
Yeah.
you out here? But his thing was like, nah, it doesn't matter. Like, this person's still she still needs help.
Yeah.
Go the next step. But I just think that's interesting to see that kind of world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
but-
would have definitely said, fuck that bitch.
Well, you know, content works both ways as well.
Yeah.
So you got to see it through, my boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be like, okay, what else? And then, you know, you see how it is. And also, you expose them in a way, too. In the nicest way possible, you expose these individuals.
Yeah. And I think that they should be, because there's
Right.
people out here doing the same thing.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
you know,
Oh,
you
man,
know what's-
professional.
Well, remember there was a show back in the days. You know, they had 1,000 Ways to Die, and then there was another show basically like it was like about certain things or whatever, and it was talking about the most lucrative job that you can have, and panhandling was one of them. Like, panhandling was like the top job that you can make money off of, and it was wild because this is back in 07,
Yeah.
06, early years, and to think that even now to this day that still you see the people you know.
I think people are more reluctant now
To do it?
to give.
Oh, to give? Hell yeah, because you're
But I
assuming-
still see people out there handing out them dollars out there, man. They need to check these people.
I gave a dude $20 the other day. And
Wow.
it was, but I don't often give money. Like
No,
I
I
don't
got you.
often because I have like those trust issues, right?
Yeah.
It just bother, and also I'm not in a position to be giving out a bunch of money right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I do if I can, or if I'm, I'm consciously aware, thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I do my best. I really like to give food because I know that I can't. It's either going to eat it or they're not. I'm not wasting. I don't feel like I'm wasting money on drugs or alcohol or whatever. Not that I feel like none of them should be doing that, because
Right.
shoot, if we do it sometimes and we have great lives,
Yep.
imagine being in that position. I'm not saying
I'm
that
fucking smoking all the time.
I
If
drink
I got
it,
a little money.
I
for it.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand that they're in a different place, but
Yeah.
I still would rather not be contributing to that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd rather help them. I
Right.
know that that's gonna hurt, and if I'm gonna help, I want to know that I'm helping.
I feel like, who the hell are we?
For sure.
I don't know what happened to
Right.
get them to that point.
Yeah.
It could have been something so slight. You know what I mean? Because
The
this happened.
smallest thing,
We've
yeah.
had minor setbacks that have felt like the hugest setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something minor that really set off a rolling ball effect downhill, and it was a downward spiral. And honestly, if you do feel in your heart to help, I just feel like it don't matter what it is, whether food, money, whatever it is. I don't question it, because what they do with it is not my responsibility.
Right. I
My
feel
responsibility was it
To
came
help.
out of my it was genuine
Yeah.
that I gave them something, and that's all. That's how.
That's
I take
real.
It.
I respect that 100%. It's just harder for me to do it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But that day, I knew, I just saw this dude, and I was going to pick up a pizza, actually right here next door.
Yeah.
I was going to pick up a pizza, and I saw the dude, and he was like, you could tell he had something was going on. What I do?
I got a funny story.
Okay.
Go.
I just thought it was me. So I see him, and he's like set up. Like, it's not a camp, but he has all his shit sitting there. And it just hit me, and I was like, damn, let me give him something. And I happened to just have a 20 in my pocket.
Yeah.
And it was one of those moments where I look, and it's like, obviously this is my income. But I was like, I got all this, and I'm not like super attached to it. Like, let me throw him a 20. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
knew like he's right by the pizza shop or whatever. He could do whatever he wants. $20, I felt good about it. And then yesterday, or not yesterday.
That shit comes back though.
It does, yeah, it does. But it feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's what was good about it. I bought a whole pub sub the other day, intentionally to give half of it to a homeless person. Did not see a homeless person the whole way back, which I guess sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Like that we live in a place where you could do that.
Right.
Like, but I couldn't find one, and I had to throw it out. And I
Oh,
was
Wait,
tight.
wait, wait.
Wasteful.
Why did you throw it out? Why didn't you eat it?
Because I
that
didn't
shit.
want
That's
a whole.
worse.
I didn't want a whole sub. I wanted half a sub. I
Yeah,
was
he-
gonna buy half a sub.
Yeah, he usually don't eat a whole.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen, I don't care about none of that.
Just eat it.
We're
We don't
literally
throw
talking
away
about
food.
homeless people, and you talking about I was looking for one, and I couldn't find one. So you know what? Let me throw it away.
I don't want to.
It was
hurt
gonna go to
myself.
waste either way.
I'm not gonna. If I eat it,
You
I'm
know
not
what?
gonna
You couldn't
feel
take
good.
it home. Nobody else.
I
was
did
gonna
Nah,
eat
take
it.
it home.
that
I
stuff
just,
ain't gonna
I
be
just
good.
wasn't gonna eat it. You know, because after a certain amount of time, I'm not gonna eat this old ass pub sub.
Nah, pub subs don't be good. You got a 2-hour window.
That's
2
a
hours,
lie.
20 minutes if that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like,
You
bro,
got a
you
2-hour
guys-
window.
I like fresh food.
He gets the chicken tender sub though too.
Yeah.
You got, it depends on what sub, but I get the ultimate. You got 2 hours because
You
you
got
got the
2 hours.
mayonnaise, you got all the toppings. You don't
You
want
got
that
all
shit
the
sitting there.
preservatives in the deli
Yeah,
meats.
nah. You got oil and vinegar. Nah, fuck that. You got welted ass
What
lettuce.
are you saying? Are you saying that you will eat a day old pub sub? Is that what you're saying right now?
Of course. Look at me.
Okay.
I am not wasting no food.
First of all, okay, a chicken tender pub sub.
First of all, I don't like chicken to the pub subs. No.
Well,
Oh,
okay,
no way.
so that's the difference. If it was
No,
another,
but there's
any
no
other
there's,
one,
there's no difference to me.
yo, fried
Wasting
meat,
food is a bad habit in society already as it is.
I feel
Facts.
you, but make what you're gonna eat to me.
What?
Don't. If you're not gonna eat it, don't make more, unless you're gonna eat it the next day for sure.
Yeah, but that's why you utilize it.
But this
and you
situation
become
is
resourceful.
different. I bought it to give it away. I wasn't trying.
So you
to
could have
eat
gave it
For the
away to
sole
anybody
intention.
though.
I didn't. I was looking for a homeless person, and on my way home, I hadn't seen any. And then I saw
They
my
weren't
neighbor.
out.
I saw my neighbor outside, and I was like, "Yo, Tony, you want this pub sub?" And he was like, "Bro, I just ate." And he's a big boy too, so I was a little surprised because I thought for sure he was gonna take
That's not
it.
how that
Shout out
works.
Tony. He just caught a stray.
That's fucked up, right? No, I'm saying he's big boy. I'm like, yo, if any other time other than where I'm at right now, if I would have just ate and somebody offered me a free half chicken tender pub sub, I'm gonna at least take a few bites, bro.
You
Yeah.
didn't even want to take a few bites.
Yeah, but I already ate. I already ate half, and I'm not as big as I was before. I used to eat a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat that much
A
now.
whole chicken tender sub That's a lot of food.
It's
bro.
a lot of meat, bro.
Yeah,
Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Too
That
much.
pause was quick. That pause was good, but that was fair play. But yeah, it is a lot of meat. That's why I always tell them half meat. I don't do a whole meat chicken tender pub. So I'll be like, go give me half the meat, and then they
Can't
ask,
handle the whole meal.
and they always be tripping when I say it
Treacherous
too,
activity,
bro. But anyway, so what got you into like? We know you obviously why you decided to do the hot sauce, but why a hot sauce of all things that you could have done?
Growing up, we always used to have pique. Like our uncles will always have a pique, which is like a vinegar-based hot sauce.
With all the peppers
It's
in
almost
there?
like a pepper sauce, essentially, like a vinegar pepper sauce. And I tried making one. I was like, let me just test it out because I'm cooked. Like I do that for a living. So I like trying everything that I haven't done, no matter what it is. You know what I mean? So chill. Pause on that. And so, but
we didn't catch it either.
nah,
Damn
so
it.
but in general, so that was my thing. So I started trying out the pepper sauce, and I was like, okay, it was a hit. Everybody loved it, and so I was like, you know what? Let me try something more than that. You know what I'm saying?
It keeps coming out.
I'm bad, bro. It's just I feel bad about the strain that Tony got. I just hope he doesn't watch this show. Tony, we apologize.
Hey,
sorry,
yo,
you're
on
talking-
behalf of Elevate Barbering, Tony, we apologize.
Oh
I'm
my
just like
God.
replaying it in my head, like, yo, that sounded terrible. Like, don't watch
Like,
this,
there's
bro.
no way he would say no.
God damn it.
I thought for sure. That's so messed
He was
up.
my last resort.
No, and then I was moving on, and then he's like, "Yo, Tony just got it straight."
I know Tony's ass gonna take it.
And
like,
you
"Tony!"
were explaining that, and in my head it was just running, bro. And I'm just like, "Fuck, I'm sorry. I wanted to
Nah, you good.
focus." Okay.
Nah, so
Sorry.
yeah, so that's all it is. Like I like attempting different things in the kitchen. You know, you only get better if you keep trying different stuff. You know what I mean? Just like you guys are barbers, you guys cut. I mean, obviously you guys have your cuts that you prefer, but you
Yeah.
know, you only get better if you try a
Yeah.
cut that you're not used to or
Right.
unfamiliar with. And so uncharted territories are always something that I'm fun. Like I love dabbling in because, you know, you only get better in those times. You know,
Hell
and I
yeah.
always think about these competition shows and all these things like that. And I'm like, yo, if I'm not trying different stuff, if I get to these competition shows, I'm gonna be in there lembao like
You
lost.
been applying? You been applying?
Nah, I haven't. But
Why not?
But I'm thinking about it. I really have been trying to dabble in more, you know, of my personality and everything like that. I'm just trying to put myself out there more.
You would kill it on a cooking show, bro. You imagine
Yo.
him on there? Pause.
It's-
Pause, bro.
You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
next level chef. They're casting right now. You could do it.
You know, there's an
sorry.
Ocala guy who was just on a cooking show out here.
Yeah, that pastry chef from WEC, Johan.
Is that him? Okay, yeah, him.
Yeah.
I just saw it through Dave Miller's thing. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
exactly, same
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, he's a plug.
Hell yeah! Shout out Dave Miller.
That's crazy because there was a guy in Ocala in American Idol too. Going off track, but
Oh, yeah?
yeah, American Idol guy.
Bro, you're up next, dog. What's up?
Yeah, what's
You-
up?
So why don't you just do it though? Why even like consider not doing it? Why is there even an option?
Because I never really considered doing them. Like it was never a thought process of like, oh, I'm gonna join a competition show.
Well,
like,
you were
I
just thinking about if you did do it, like
Yeah,
if
it was
that
a
happened.
conversation. No, but it was a conversation with my wife, basically about me not feeling that I'm in a place where I should be.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And when you're around people that are not challenging you, especially in your field, you can feel it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people
for
are
sure.
complacent where they're at.
Yep.
Right? And I'm not.
Yeah.
You understand? So because of that, I feel like I should be doing more, trying more, and doing more technique because if, let's say, that was the example, if I do go on these shows and something needs to come up, I need to be able to whip those things quickly because this is 45 minutes we're talking about, 30 minutes at times.
I didn't even think about that.
Quick times and
That's
improvisation at its finest. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm good with improvisation in general, but you know, when it comes to cooking, I'm really prideful about it. And you know, you got to talk to people that are been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you out there looking a fool. But I don't mind looking like a fool. It's more of a sense of like, I just want to always be prepared
No,
for
I feel
myself
that.
and owning your skills at all costs. You know what I mean? So that's my main thing for it. Is like just continually practicing and continually getting better through technique and through knowledge. Like I always like learning about food, where it comes from, like where different people, the cultural background, like all those things are effective in the food.
Yeah.
Especially coming from a Puerto Rican background, like you know what I mean.
Shout out,
Like,
Wepa,
you know what
Boricua,
I'm saying?
baby.
Like, no, you know, one dimensional. Like some people may feel one dimensional in that lane, and I don't never have like a one thing that I like to do. I like literally doing it all.
I'm with that. You know, I'm like that, bro. I'm with that right there. I've been chefing it up. I don't know if you've seen.
He has.
No,
I gotta send you my plates, bro.
No, definitely.
Because
I would
my
love to see
plates
it.
has been. Now I had to get back in the groove because I haven't been cooking in a long time. This is why I wouldn't be good on a show, bro. Because I like cooking, but I like cooking like with no time frame. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even like cooking if I had to cook right after work because then it's like I gotta hurry up. You know what I mean? I like to have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever, and I try not to drink, but I love having a drink like that while I'm cooking.
Oh.
It's just something I think.
So you turn into a single mother.
Yeah, mad zesty. Yeah,
Bro.
I like to have a glass of wine.
He's like, yo, you know, I'm just like chilling in my robe. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy is I think that I got it from my mom.
Of course.
Because my
Like,
mom,
shout out, Mom.
shout out
Shout
moms, every day she came home to cook and she will crack open the Corona and bust down, bro. And
That's a gangster right there.
every time. And that's like, it's like a thing where like if I'm cooking, it's just like I'm looking for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even if I stopped drinking beer, I stopped drinking alcohol a lot, pretty much for the most part. But every once in a while, you know, I might have one or two or whatever. And that started happening. So then when we had the baby, I was off for that week. And then I took over all of them house duties. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I was busting it down. And the first couple, it's funny because Jessica even said, because I haven't cooked in so long, she was like, you know, the beginning of the week, you were a little rusty. You know, we
Finished strong.
Yeah.
We were
she said-
surviving out here.
She said, you know what? She said, but you caught your groove
Chicken
back.
was a little bland or something.
Yeah, I caught my groove back. I started at the end. I was like, okay, now I know I do this. Now I gotta broil the chicken for a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? Get that crisp outer layer. Bam, bam, bam. What's up? You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not playing out here. Then I did the Mediterranean chicken. Then my
Nice.
jerk chicken in the slow cooker, which is easy. You just
Yeah.
throw it in there. You know what I'm saying? But I like to get in there with my hand,
That's
broil
my
it,
favorite.
time shit.
No,
I
it's
have a
good.
good time, but so we should. Oh, I was thinking about this. I'm glad that we're on the show. This is perfect because I meant to tell both of y'all we should have a night where we invite all the fams and then all the men cook.
I don't
Well,
have
yeah,
ideas.
He hesitated
usually,
quick.
we usually
You
do that
normally
because
do
he
that.
usually cooks. He's
Right,
usually-
but it's different because Hobbs cooking. But I
Right.
think we should mainly cook,
Right.
Because Hobbs already be cooking.
Well,
You know
we
what I'm
did a
saying?
chop night one time. At
we
the
did.
house.
It was fun.
What's that?
They basically just bought some random ingredients from the supermarket. They didn't tell me what they were buying, and then just brought it to the house and told me what.
Yeah,
Damn.
Shelby's a big chop fan, so
Yeah.
she was
Oh,
like,
that's
she
what
was,
they do?
Yeah, oh yeah. Chop
show?
is like you get like
A basket of
each round is
ingredients.
like a basket of ingredients. You got to use the basket of ingredients in the dish, right?
Damn, that's dope.
So like I think Shelby did it and like fucking set it all up and everything for him. I think it was like pork chops.
Yeah, I ended up doing smothered pork chops with
It was fire.
like an orzo mac and
I
cheese.
feel like
type of
we
deal,
should do that
and
again.
roasted broccoli.
But me and you compete.
That's fine.
I'll.
We ne- we need-
I know you have no problem losing, so let's do it.
One of y'all gonna be on the grill. One of y'all gonna be on the stove. We need two kitchens. If y'all two compete.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Nah, we could do like a
could
test
do it like the-
plate.
yeah.
Like we do one or two plates and then everybody has some. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But I want to get into a little bit about your history in the barber world too. You know what I'm saying? We're in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Elevate Barbering Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Shout out.
What is your personal experience, especially being the oldest of three boys, right? So your experiences probably might be unique to theirs, or I guess all of yours are unique. But
Right.
what is a barber and a barbershop to you when you were growing up? Not now as an adult, but more so growing up. How did you view that environment, and what were those experiences like early on, like that you recall?
Honestly, we had a family barber for the longest time. Shout out Maximo.
Maximo.
That was the family barber for the longest time. He was my father's barber. And what was dope about it, Lopez Barbershop, they all were brothers. A family
They
of
were
some
family
sort.
oriented.
But I think they were all brothers of some sort or cousins or close, like they were close distant, like close relatives. And they were all barbers. And they were all brothers there. And then, you know, everybody knew each other. Everybody knew what it was. And then obviously, as a kid, you don't know. You just go in as a barbershop. That's your father's barber. That's it. And then as you get older, you realize, the barber is the barber. You know what I'm saying? But you have a different flavor. You have a different style. You have to adapt to different things. But we literally moved whatever barbershop, wherever Maximo was at, we moved with them.
Yeah.
Then literally, I think that's the beginning of loyalty. Like being able not to like barbershop really shows you loyalty from the beginning. It's like you don't understand why you're not switching barbers, but you just going to that barber.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's like we were doing it like no matter what, Pops would take us to whatever barber, we'd be straight. And then when he changed barbers, because he would still be like, I don't know, he'd be, you know what I mean? And still to this day he was like, I don't know.
They give you what you want type of barber.
Yeah, it got to that point. It's like, man, he's getting old. He's just giving you what he wants type of, pause. And so when he got to,
Yes, sir.
when we got to another barber, same thing. Like, I'll stick with that barber for the longest. I go with like a familiar, like anybody I know is familiar. Like my cousins, yo, you got a barber? Yeah. Test out the barber.
Yeah.
You got to have a test to all the barbers.
For sure.
And that's how it was. You know what I mean? And I've been, since I moved to Florida, is more like a Wild Wild West situation with me because I was in Port St. Lucie, I was in West Palm Beach, and you're not familiar with all types of barbers there. So I was literally trying out different barbers. And then in West Palm, I had one barber, and a young kid. He was still in high school at the time, so every time I went to go see him, sometimes he wasn't there.
Yo, I'm in fifth
Yeah,
period,
yeah,
bro.
You know what
bro.
I'm saying? So then I would go
Gotta wait.
I tried out another barber. He chopped my shit up tremendously. But he was still a barber in that whole barbershop, but I stood within the shop. That was my thing. I at least stood within the shop.
That's the next best thing you could do.
Exactly.
Right.
And that was my thought process. Like, let me still rock with the. And then I met Nelson. That was my other barber for the longest time in West Palm Beach. Like, literally, like, Dominican barber, like, just the basics.
Yeah.
He gonna get you right, no problem.
Yep.
And pause. And then then I came out here. But every time I needed a cut when I was out there and I came up here, I would cut with any local barbers that we knew. Ben.
Yep.
Ben was cutting.
Shout out Ben.
Mitri. Shout out Mitri. I cut with them when they were first starting. Every time I come up here, I would get a cut by them. And
We got to get Mitri on the show, man.
Yes.
definitely. And then obviously once Christian decided that he was gonna be a barber,
Yep.
and
He was like, perfect. Now I ain't got to work so hard.
Facts. Literally it was the first cut since before he started cutting in the
He was my
shop.
first cut. I
And-
still got the
word?
picture.
And
Still got the
that's
picture.
And I've been rocking with him since. I don't get no cut nowhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my number one supporter, my first supporter.
I feel that. That's loyalty. I can't say
Yeah.
the
Well,
same
that's
about
where
Leo.
I met you. I met you at the school.
Leo's already, he's already betrayed you. He's come to this side, so he's
Yeah.
not as loyal as how.
You know,
what I'm saying?
keep
But
it
he
in the
kept
fam.
it in the shop though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
there
sure,
you go.
for
That's
sure.
that's the only rule is to keep it in the shop.
Yeah.
Keep it in.
But like I said, those are like I think that's what you were getting at with barbershop. My main like fond memory is like a core of like just instilled a rule and a value out of nowhere.
Yeah.
How or where freaking the origin was.
That's interesting,
That
yeah.
just automatic was like, well, if you get with that barber, just stick with that barber because that's all you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's it.
That's interesting because I did not expect him to go that direction. So as
Yeah.
soon as he started, I was like, I like that because it is. And even if it's for most people, it would be unconscious. Like they wouldn't be aware. But that really kind of is your first dabble into like brotherhood loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Not like female loyalty is a little different or faithfulness, whatever you call
It's like
it.
Toy Story,
Right.
gang shit. Like that's what it is.
Yeah,
Essentially.
yeah.
Like, you don't know it, but that's your appearance is important.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Especially when you're a young man. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what I'm saying? And so for your parents to instill that in you, like at a young age, like, yo, they
gotta
were
go
the
to
ones
barber.
taking you consistently. You know what I mean? So then now as you get older, you're like, damn, I got to go to myself.
Yeah.
Now you go to the same person. You have to make the time. You realize everything that it took to get to that point. You know what I mean?
But what's interesting about that too is that is because your father had that characteristic or quality about
course.
him.
Yep.
Whereas my father did not have that. Not the loyalty, just he didn't go to barbers. You know what I mean? Like or at least my dad, when I was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8, something like that, he shaved that's when he started shaving his head bald.
Oh.
So like for me, I know he had hair when I was younger, but I don't really recall him
Right.
having those experiences at barbershops and stuff like that. So most of the time when we went to the barbershop, it was just me and my little brother getting our hair cut. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we would go to a few different barbers at the beginning. Like we would have a barber for a time period, you know what I mean? And then there would be some reason we had to go to another one. But then when I became like 10 or 12 or 13, when I started going to the shop, like the one that I started sweeping up at and that kind of started my career in that, that's where I started to figure out the loyalty. Because for me, the loyalty wasn't initiated through my parents, for a barber specifically, but it was more initiated through the experience of trial and error. When you're a teenager, you go to a barber, you got a good haircut, then all of a sudden you go to somebody else and you're like, wait a minute, what?
Chop my shit.
What just happened? And then you got to go to school and then you get roasted.
Yeah, that was what happened when we came to Florida, because there was no barbers out here.
Especially this area, like in Kissimmee, I was good. There was still plenty of Hispanic.
But that's where
Puerto
we used to
Rican.
go get a haircut. We used to get a haircut in Orlando. It was called Slam Dunk Barbershop.
For real, damn.
Slam Dunk Barbershop. It was like
Wow.
one of the first barbershops that I seen with the air compressors, all that stuff like that. And out here, and that was like an hour away. But out here, we never had a barber. Ma used to cut the hair. You
Yeah,
know
in,
what I mean?
in the beginning, yeah,
We used to have some wild.
She was cutting
She
our
was
hair.
busting down.
She
the
was
clippers,
busting
bro.
out the phase, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I think I had like a
Yeah.
two on the top, one on the sides type of deal.
It
I remember
looked
my
crazy. You know
my
what I'm saying?
pops
Yeah.
pops did it too, but I remember one time I grabbed the clippers while he walked out,
Uh-huh.
and I just buzzed my shit right down the middle.
You was trying to be like Pops.
I did it, and I don't know if that, I think he had hair. I think he had hair at that time, but that was an interesting
You know
experience.
what I'm saying? Ma used to hit the Mach 3 in the back for the shape ups.
Yeah, yo, the 5-blade shaver, bro. Busted, yo.
So what did like would you say you had any like crazy barbershop experiences? Anything that like sticks out to you that you were like, damn, that happened in a barbershop? Or nah, you never had nothing like that?
Not that I could recall. I mean, I always fall asleep in the barber chair most of the time. It's like, and it happened as I got older. Like I would just knock out, like, because I would always have to go after work. Once I started working, like it wasn't like I was just fitting it in the schedule, and then so I'm like literally nodding off in the chair.
And it's relaxing. It's super relaxing. You got
it's
the clippers.
chill, people just talking. But for me, one thing about going to a barbershop consistently is you feel a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause you go in there and you ain't saying nothing. You kind of quiet. You probably, laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
Or you listen to a lot of wild stuff, But once you
Big
go in
expression.
there, you start talking and you start laughing and you get, the different point of views and stuff like that. But I think that's the biggest thing, like barbershop sometimes, the competitiveness amongst the barbers, you know what I mean? Because everybody got their own team or everybody got their own thing that they're rooting for.
Yep.
So it's always fun to see the dynamic of that experience. But I haven't had thankfully, no wild, super wild experience in a barbershop. Honestly, all the barbershops that I've always chosen were pretty decent barbershops.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I always look into that too. I don't just try to pick a barbershop just to pick a barbershop.
Right.
Because it's spooky, you know what I'm saying? But once I go into a barbershop, I'm going there consistently, you know what I'm saying?
As long as you came out with a good cut, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, of course,
Good.
but that's you go in there with a goal.
Yeah.
Make sure you get a cut properly. You
And
know
the
what I mean?
vibe is right, because I've gotten a good cut, but the vibe wasn't right, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not trying to go back there.
Yeah, you got different people that are
Smelly
act
fingers.
different. You know what I'm saying?
Gross.
People, but you can see sanitize. You know what I'm saying? People if they sanitize and
Yep.
stuff like that. People don't think about all that.
People
stuff,
don't.
obviously, because they're not conscious about it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you grow up and you see certain things consistently in the barbershop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the wildest barbershop that I got a cut in that looked kind of crazy was y'all first barbershop. That's about it.
Yeah.
It did look crazy.
But other than that, it's never been a thing like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I had one client who was like always nervous to go over there.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like he was always like, yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, he didn't tell me until after I left that shop. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll be honest, man. I was always a little sketched out to go in there.
That's funny.
And he's like, I don't know.
It was intimidating, you know. It could
Especially
be
if
very
you're not used to being around people. Like
right,
that.
right. Exactly,
Well, I don't
exactly.
think, well, just me. I'm a different individual, but
Yeah,
the shop was just small. So like literally, you just
yeah,
it's
Well,
two people to a.
For people who aren't used to being around people like us,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it's intimidating.
It seems like, if you came up in a more like,
Talking about shelter.
you're not used to it.
yeah.
I understand.
Or you're not used to the barbershop environment either. Maybe they grew up fucking going to a salon or something like that.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Like
And then
wild.
and then they go to an actual barbershop, and the barbershop like how it was. It's like, oh shit.
And you're not used to people speaking passionately. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's another thing.
Loudly and
Like,
passionately.
My daughter sometimes, you know how I talk. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like my daughter sometimes will be like, "Stop fighting," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not fighting. I'm just talking." You know what I'm saying? So, where for them, they're not around that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're not around it. So then they're kind of like on edge. Everybody's getting hype. everybody starts raising their voice,
What's gonna happen?
moving, stop cutting. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I understand
So
completely.
And then whenever you first fucking come in the door and you see Izzo right there, you
Yeah.
know, Izzo's a big ass
Tatted
fucking
up.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
forehead tat, like, well, it's not forehead tat, but you know, he
Yeah,
got
it's
his
tatted,
hairline
bro.
tatted, which
Yeah.
looks sick, by the way. His head tats are sick, but that's an intimidating thing. know
yeah,
what
you
I'm
walk
saying?
in. What's up, bro?
Deep voice.
Shout out Izzo, man.
Big boy, man. Shit.
Yeah.
But no homo. Pause.
Big shit.
Y'all didn't catch it. I'm good. But what you gonna say something?
No, I was. You talked about the vibe of the shop, like, because that was important for you. I felt like whenever I was getting a cut, I wasn't worried about like
The
the
vibe.
vibe. I just worried about the cut. Like, as
Well,
long as
you-
I got a good cut, think what the earliest one is. What Jimmy, you know,
That's your earliest
my
barber
my
memory?
my earliest memory. Well, my earliest memory is Maximo. You know, but that was you're a kid. You're obviously
And they're
quiet.
speaking straight Spanish, so you're really
Yeah, they mad.
Zoned
They
out.
Dominican too, and they fucking going.
Yeah.
Right, Dominican,
Yeah,
right?
Dominican, right.
Yeah, they were fucking.
Demon.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't understand it anyway. So
Them plátanos. You know what I'm saying?
that's,
Wow,
that
that's
could be a
wild.
little stereotypical, but it's okay.
Wow.
I
That's
love
a-
plátanos, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
wild.
but whatever.
That was wild.
Nah, but the vibe.
That's a wild thing. That's an offensive
Plátanos.
term.
Well, yeah, because that's almost like a racial slur.
A plátano?
That is a
No,
slur.
Do they have one
towards
for us?
Dominicans.
Do they have one? Because, you know, there's always like a little...
Bacalaíto or something. I don't know.
I'll take that. Ew,
So,
I'd be proud. I'd be proud of being
fucking,
called. I love
what's
that
it? What's the other one? Yeah, nah.
We're gonna
Plátano
find
is a
out.
big,
I'm
it's
sure
a big
we'll find
Dominican
out.
thing. What's a big Puerto Rican like thing?
That's what threw me off, because I thought plátanos when I was young was a Puerto Rican thing. And then when people started saying that
It's
with
a
Dominicans-
Caribbean
It-
thing.
yeah.
I know
It's a
that
Caribbean
now.
Oh shit, we're going into food, so he knows.
It's a Caribbean.
Yeah,
I
it
know
is.
that now, but as a kid...
That's one thing that I've learned, and this is why I say love always. This is my thing, is because growing up in New York and growing up in different parts, being amongst different Spanish people, even different cultures, like people always fight about the same thing.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? And for me, it's funny because literally in the Caribbean, if you look up all the food in the Caribbean, they're all similar foods.
Yeah.
They're just different ways of making it, different ingredient, like just maybe one added ingredient, maybe one not ingredient added. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has their own type of sofrito. You know what I'm saying? Arroz con gandules is just called something else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
There's all the similar things, and that's what we fight over. Just like little minor things that, for what?
I mean, I would say most people fight
That's
over.
the
I think
American
that's-
way. I was like, yeah, we've been fighting over little shit.
That's a human thing.
Yeah.
It's just a human, like, because most people who are on, I would say, our level would know, like, that's not something I'll be fighting over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it goes more than that, obviously, you know, when it goes down to like, okay, why am I fighting a Latino in general? You know what I'm saying? We're
Right.
Latinos in general.
Anybody, though.
Of course,
It goes
in general,
so
it goes
beyond.
in
You know
culture.
what
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
in the culture, amongst the culture, it goes like that. Like, why? For what, bro?
Yeah.
It's not that deep, bro. You should be like respect each other, love each other. That's all it is. That's what we should be trying to push out in this
To
world.
everyone.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love always, regardless of the thing, because we don't know what nobody's going through. Nobody does. You understand what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that there's people that don't have love. They don't know how to embrace love. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? So even when somebody does show love or try to give them love, they look awkward. They're like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't know how to receive it.
Not at all. But, you know, like I said, my job is only to understand where I'm coming from.
Yep.
You know, that's the best thing I could do is be like, yo, you stopped it. And so
Keep going.
the love that we got and that we can give, we got to continue to make sure that we're able to show it to everybody. You know what I mean? That's what
That's real.
for me and the kids.
That's a bar.
For the kids is one of the things is like, I try to show them that, listen, you can respond however you want to respond, right? But at the end of the day, understand that how you respond is everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
How you respond to everything is gonna be your way you learn to respond continuously. It's gonna become a habit. You know, and it's hard to not react based on emotion once you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
And then once you learn to, like we always say, try to find a solution. Once you try to embrace solutions, it becomes difficult to not find the solution.
Right.
You know what I mean? But love for me is always the biggest thing. And why I love food is because food is love. Food is always one thing that can get people to shut the fuck up and get together. It's like, yo, we got food. Yeah, I don't like this dude, but we're going to eat some food real quick and get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It'll get people to just be quiet, and it's a way for me.
You're getting people to be quiet.
Not for me, mainly, it's an expression of yourself. If you cook, like for me, I cook, basically how I cook is like a scavenger hunt of my soul. You know what I'm saying? It's bits and pieces of everything that I've learned throughout my journey, bits and pieces of little things that I want to express, and there's bits and pieces that you're going to taste through the there's bits and pieces that you're going to taste that is basically, you know, a scavenger hunt to my soul. It's me in all ways, shapes, or fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
Pause.
But
It's crazy though, because that's just like I feel like anything that you do, it's not a feeling. I know anything that you do that once it goes beyond a certain point, it just becomes art. It doesn't matter what it is. Of
course.
You know what I'm saying? Because you start becoming, you just talked about being creative earlier. You started, which reminded me of something too. But once you take that creative energy and apply it to anything, it's limitless, like what you can do. And then you start like having those, for me, it's adventurous. I like to be adventurous and explore things. You know what I mean? So when I feel that way, the same way you're feeling about being in the kitchen and putting together some seasonings, and not, for you might know where this combination of seasonings are going just because you have experience.
A palette. Just
right.
like art, there's a palette.
Right. Where for me, I don't look at palettes, even with art. Like, that's maybe why my stuff's all crazy. But I just kind of go off of, I'm like, I don't know. I think this is going to work. And then the adventure is finding out if it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Understand. But I feel like you have somewhat of understand. You understand primary colors. You understand where colors come from, what colors are made to make certain colors.
For sure.
And so that's how a lot of your canvases still come together, because they do work. And you may add something different that may seem like out of the pocket, but if you trace it down
it's
to
still,
the root,
tied in.
it's tied in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the beauty of cooking as well. You may understand like the root of what the flavor you may be going for, but the moment you add something else, you just change it to a whole different cultural background.
That's the problem that I have. I'll be making some Jamaican dish, and then I'll be like, let me try to throw this in there, man.
Put a little oregano in there.
All of a sudden, it's Mexican. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, what just happened, bro?
But that's the way it goes, and that's I'll tell you, it's such a fine tune in cooking, is understanding that is all about that. It's understanding that the culture is basically how they did those things, and that's what makes it theirs. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep,
Similar to like I said, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Caribbean, Jamaicans, like we use similar products, sweet plantains, all that stuff. Plantains, you know what I'm saying?
Plátanos.
That's plantain.
I know, I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm saying it
Saying it in
Spanish. Can I
Spanish.
say it in Spanish?
I got you good.
For the Spanish speakers out there.
I don't like when people say plantain. I think that sounds dumb.
It's plantain.
Plátano, bro. It's plantain.
Do you say mountain?
No, I
That's
say
funny.
I say plátano. That's what I say.
I only said that because I was laughing. There was a video like that, a guy ordering food at a Jamaican restaurant. And he's like, yeah, 2 plantains. He goes, 1 plantain. And he's like, plantain. He goes, what mountain you get it from? She's mad.
English is a tough language for that to
Horrible
automatically
language.
apply to. But I feel it. I'm still say plantain if I have to. But I'm going to really just hit him with the plátano, bro.
Nah,
know
you
what I'm
good.
saying?
Nah,
I hit up, you know what a plátano is, right?
Of course.
Not you, I'm just saying if I'm asking somebody, I won't say plantain. I'll be like, you know what plátano is, right?
You just
And then
teach
they
them a
say
little
no.
bit, give them a little lesson in
so
Spanish
that I don't
real
have
quick.
to say plantain.
Yeah.
Got
You feel me? It's a real important thing to me.
you. Nah, but yeah. Nah, but like you said, like creatively, when you start from a space of like just trying to give, that's where it is. That's
For
what
sure.
That's what creativity is to me. It's a giving thing. It has nothing to do with receiving anything. It's all about giving, and that's where my love for food is. That's where my love for music is, because for me is beyond me. When I'm gone, my music will be here.
Music too. We
For
didn't
my
even touch
kids,
on that.
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
My art will be there. Physical is a physical thing that somebody else could see, and it's something that could pass on. Just like photography, same thing. It's physical.
Yep.
It's an art form that you can be there forever. We're still looking at pictures and videos from the past, players and Food Network stuff, like all the time. You know what I mean? Some of these people are no
Documentary.
longer here. Documentary, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Out.
Shout out Comedy
Origin.
Productions.
Yep. And so that's where it is for me. That's where the love stems for me. You know, because in a world where you can just be angry, in a world where you can just choose to fight, You know what I mean? Why not choose love?
Ooh,
That,
bar.
That hurt. It hurt because it was just too beautiful.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it. I like that, man. But I don't want to not mention the fact that you make music. You know what I'm saying? How long have you been making music, and where can they listen under what name?
Oh, I'm JavStopPlayin. JAV, stop playing, no G, IN. I'm on all platforms. I don't really have much out. And literally, like I said, it's a creative outlet for me. And literally, my music is inspirational for me to. I mainly write music for my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, obviously, everybody will gain something out of it because I'm not talking about just regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But honestly, for the kids, if I'm not here at a certain time in their life, and they put on my music, it will give them inspiration. They can hear my voice, and it's almost like a guidance tool.
I feel the
but
same way.
it's almost for me. It's like they could just listen and be like, "Damn, he was really." I did feel like this at one point, or
My dad,
maybe I could learn
and
from
it's
that.
my dad. Like my dad said this, and I can hear him saying, I feel the exact same way.
Exactly.
Knock on wood, not to be morbid, but you never know.
Of course.
And I hope to not have them lean on my music, but if they do, they're not gonna hear the same old shit. They're gonna hear my shit. You know what I'm saying? And what I want them to hear from me.
Exactly.
And on another note too, sometimes. Because like the last song we did, right, for the last time, it was totally different than like my first project. But it's cool because it's like, I think about it like they're I want them to also know all of me. You know what I'm saying? Like to a certain extent. You
It's
feel me?
expressive. Listen, I don't say to a certain extent because at the end of the day, in order for anybody to understand themselves, they must understand where they come from.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying? Because growing up is selfish. We are very selfish beings growing up. We don't think about nothing else but ourselves. We don't understand the sacrifices that our parents made. We didn't understand where our parents, how they grew up, how it affected how they raised us. All those things are important. So if we don't understand that, then if we're not open to them, they won't understand that.
Yeah.
They'll just see this guy was just angry all the time for no reason, or they don't understand where this comes from, but they don't understand that you just either passionate or you're just used to reacting that way because that's how you would react. That's how you responded, or that's what responded to you back in the day.
Right, exactly.
And so that's been one of my things in growing and understanding a lot about myself is trying to understand like the things that used to affected me growing up and that I held strongly, like try to understand like where my parents were coming from.
Exactly.
Because like my parents had me at 20.
That's young,
I was a premature baby. You know what I'm saying?
could tell.
Because I'm big now. We always make up for it. We ain't stopped eating since. You know what I'm saying? But I was in an incubator for a month. And my mom used to have to walk to the hospital daily. She didn't have to. She chose to walk daily. You know what I'm saying? She chose to be there by my side daily in a month. Obviously, I don't remember those things, but this is stuff that was told to me. You understand what I'm saying? By my father and by my mother. You know what I'm saying? So to see those things and to hear those things and to understand that at 20 years old, I had my kids at like 26, 27, and I'm still learning. So I could only imagine at 20 years old the stuff that they had to learn.
For real, bro.
Not only that, but they also left their houses at 16 years old.
Exactly.
By
They
themselves.
didn't have the resources that we
You
have.
understand what I'm saying? So even if they did have the resources, they did it on their own. They had very little family. My mother was born in Puerto Rico. Her mom was in Puerto Rico, and her dad was in California. You understand what I'm saying? So she's out in New York solo dolo with nobody, essentially. My father had his uncles and stuff like that, but his father's out of the picture. His grandmother, my grandmother, his mom was in Puerto Rico as well. They were back and forth from New York to Puerto Rico, but he was like, I'm going to just stay here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then so when you learn those things and you understand like certain reasons why, you know what I mean? Then you gain an understanding, a full awareness of like, damn, it was bigger than me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, like, how do I move forward? What can I do now? You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times with my kids, I'm very conscious of what I say. Or if I do, obviously, you're going to spaz. So I sit them down and like, listen, this is where I was coming from. This is what it is. Whether they understand it or not.
They hear you, and they feel that. And they can always, we talking about this today, kids perceive and receive so much more information than most people give them credit for. they just can't articulate their thoughts back all the time the same way.
Exactly.
So it's like, because I remember being young and like knowing, like being like, bro, this guy clearly doesn't know what I know right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't know that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many times that I felt that way. So I do the same thing. I talk to my kids like grown people, and whatever they don't understand, I'll tell them again later.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
as much as they could get now, I'd rather. And then you're also, my point for the person I was talking to earlier was that I think that most people kind of have the reverse effect on their kid unintentionally, usually. Because if your kid comes out at this level of intellect, but you start talking to them with this level, now, instead of expanding on that, they have to kind of go backwards a little bit and then start from there again. You know what I mean? So it's like you're kind of pushing them, regressing them as opposed to progressing.
No, of course. And it's weird to think, but, you know, my kids are 7 and 5, but boys 7 and 5, Xander and Xavier. And Xander is a very thoughtful being at a young age. Like, he hears things and he sees things, he feels very strongly. You know what I mean? I guess there was a kid in his school that lost her brother in a car accident, whatever the case may be.
Damn.
And I guess they were talking about it during like one of the little classes that they had together. And not them themselves, but like I guess it was just brought up. And he gets in the car and he's expressing to his mother that, oh, when I start driving, I'm gonna make sure I drive safely so that my brother doesn't have to go through that. You know how like that's wild to think that at that age, like he has that self-awareness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that awareness in general. But he's done that numerous times, and it's like you said, sometimes we are a hindrance to our kids because we just try to keep them at their young adolescence.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, is a childlike behavior is a child, right? Enjoy time, enjoy the stuff like that. But when we have to be honest and keep it a buck with them, we have to. I mean, obviously, we don't want to expose a lot of stuff to them, but at the end of the day, all we can do is we can't protect them all the time.
Right.
I learned so much in public school.
Right. And a lot of times that's not the way to learn that information. So my parents would purposely do that. They wouldn't hold anything back from us at home, you know, for the most part, in terms of like what movies you're watching, what stuff you're exposed to. Because to them, and I would always hear my father tell people too, like if they came to the house talking, whatever, they were like, I'd rather them hear it here, and if they got questions, we could talk about it. As instead of them go hear it and get all the bad information and the wrong information from their kids or their peers who are getting it from out who knows where. I'd rather you see this and then be like, let you know what it is and what the world is like. Because one day, just like your parents, my parents were out on their own early too, and they knew that they, just like we were just talking, there might be a day where they're not here, and we would rather you be around us and be exposed to what the world is. You know what I mean?
It's just so wild just to think about all this stuff. I mean, I remember vividly as a kid, like we were talking about like music, the stuff that we were exposed to that we didn't know we were exposed to. I mean, as a kid, you know, when other kids ask you if you're a virgin, you know what I'm saying? I remember as a kid in the cafeteria, like, oh, you're a virgin? I don't know. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you're a virgin. I said, no, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? You try to flip it up real quick. You know,
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. But there's this understanding, you know what I mean? But those are all things, you know what I'm saying? Masturbation, found out through public school. Like, the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want to know how you found out through public school.
No, they were just talking. They just talking.
Public school's wild.
You know, if you play with it, white stuff come out. What?
Bro,
Wow.
he went home right away.
Say, wait, I got to find out.
No lie.
You know what's I remember the moment, like the exact, not the time, but I remember the scene and everything of finding out what sex actually is. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's wild.
What I remember, what I thought it was. That was like the moment it went from what I thought it was to knowing what it really was. It was at a baseball game, and we in the dugout talking about it with the homies.
Yeah.
And they're like, they tell me, and I'm just like, what? What?
Like the Dumb and Dumber scene?
Yeah, bro.
Like the Dumb and Dumber's like, that's disgusting. You know, he goes, not our mother. She's like,
Hey, bro, I remember that, and just it blowing my mind, like, no pun intended. That was crazy, bro. I was like,
nah, I don't think there was an actual talk or anything of understanding what sex was, but we had an illegal cable box at the house, so we seen a lot of porno. Like, I used to, like...
he knew what it was early.
Yeah, no, it was wild. Like, I knew I liked to eat toto before I even ate toto. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Like, that shit looks like it tastes good.
It already had a taste for it.
Yeah, like, it was wild. Like, it was wild. But that's what I'm saying. Like, those things, like, it just happens. It's not like I don't remember anything like I don't remember having a birds and the bees talk or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember like small little conversations. My mom would be like, "Oh, Javi, you sure that this girl's a virgin?" I'm like, "Ma, I don't know. I'm a virgin. I have no idea. What am I looking for? You know
What is this
like,
fucking virgin word we're talking about?
What am I supposed to look for?
What are the signs?
And those are the things like, and that's and that's the thing too, because people misconstrue a lot of people when they are. I remember vividly a conversation with a kid my age. It was like we were young, still in New York, so this is before 13, so probably like 8, 9, 10 around there. And the question was asked. She was like, "What all do you think I've done?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably all the way." You know what I'm saying? Because, and to my defense, it wasn't anything she did. Me personally, I thought everybody was just way more advanced than I was. I hadn't done shit, so I was like, you had to have done everything.
Yeah. Everybody else has.
Everybody else is talking crazy out here. You must have. And no, same deal. Like, no, I've never. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh wow.
He's like,
I'm not alone.
I found the one.
No, it's just like, wow, like you don't think it's that common because you're so used to hearing it, and you know you're a dude, so you know the bravado, and everybody's like, oh nah, chill, you gotta get toto, son. There's no way you're not getting any. You know what I'm saying? And
The peer pressure is what? The fuck?
I'm not getting anything. I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy, bro? I feel like a lot of people have experienced that kind of situation and peer pressure about that. I never had that. Like around the people that we would talk about it. We might have make jokes about it, but it was never like some serious like, yo, you really haven't done it yet? Like
because nigga, we know you haven't done it yet. We're like all like Fred, you were like, bro, we all the same, bro. We ain't get shit out here.
We would have known. Y'all would have known.
Like,
Papa, you have no idea what happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There was no pressure, bro. It was like, yo, whatever.
So we out here dry.
Think about
we
it,
were
like,
trying.
But this is the thing. You and that's the difference. Like New York. Everybody is public. Mm-hmm. Like it's a public school. People live in different places. You don't see those people outside of school. You just see them in school. Yeah. Very few people you see like outside of school. You know what I mean? That lived in the area, especially us. My parents did not let us really go out like that. Like we would just go to Cabañas, shout out Cabañas, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But we would just go to different places that our parents went. Mm-hmm. They didn't want us outside like that. Even when I moved out here, they didn't want me outside.
That's funny though, because my parents moved me here when I was born, specifically so I could be outside. Because they was like, "Yo, we know if you stay out here, you ain't going outside.
Yeah.
If you come down here, you can't go outside."
We eventually got outside whenever you Florida. You know, you're gonna be outside.
I'm glad that y'all made it out.
Yeah.
Well,
but they had.
They
but it
got
was
out
because their
before
mentality. Yeah, because they're still thinking
up.
like that. You know what I'm saying? They're still thinking like up north.
Shit ain't happening in Lady Lake.
There was nothing going down. Well,
Straight
there was
out
a
of
lot
Lady Lake.
happening in Lady Lake. But there was like, it was wild. It was, nothing was close. All my friends was in Wildwood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had to drive. I ain't had no license.
I think that we all, by the way, just before we get too far off topic, because there's been a couple times the things that I've been wanting to say and I keep forgetting.
Going off a tangent, hurt.
Yeah, but one of them is we definitely should be having more open communication with our kids about sex, bro. I think. It's my opinion.
We should at one point. I feel like once the time comes, we should. Because you go out there and you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Well, I'm not just talking about that, though. I'm just talking about what it is. And like,
no, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what you're doing. That's what I mean. Like,
the
only thing I knew about sex that I really instilled was protection. Mm-hmm. Mr. Condom. I was Mr. Condom for the longest time. There was nothing you're going to catch me in without a condom. You know what I'm saying? I was not playing. I had a party pack, Papa. I was not playing.
I had a party pack.
You know what
he
I'm
had
saying?
the colors.
Out here.
I used to jerk off in condoms sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Easy clean up. But you know what I'm saying?
That is crazy.
But but that's what I'm saying. And in that sense, it's like being aware of those things, like just understanding, because we come from a city is people out there.
Yeah.
You don't even realize how many people fucking, but they fucking.
Yeah.
Out here.
I think about it like this all the time. Like, I was so glad that I didn't get caught. Like, I came out unscathed. In high school.
For real.
I never had sex in high school. Like, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? 17 is when I lost my virginity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was not like, And it wasn't like I was out there and people were lining up for, you know what I mean? Like everybody else made it seem like it was easy
Like, hey,
out there in these
I'm
streets.
18 now. I think everybody made it seem that way. I don't think it was that easy.
No, some people was though.
Some people was.
outside.
I know people who.
Me too.
But I don't think it was as common.
Outside.
Some people was outside way about time.
Yeah.
All
But
the time.
not that. I don't think it was as common as people tried to make it seem.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
No,
That's
I
all.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was a wild time to be alive at points.
I really wish that I feel like it was related. The last thing that I was trying to remember, but we got away from it again because I didn't want to cut it off. But
I got you.
it'll come back next episode. But
Definitely.
anyway, we really appreciate you coming on the show, bro. I think this was a dope episode.
Hell yeah.
But we had
Always a
to
pleasure.
have another Gonzo on soon. You know
Had
what I'm
to.
saying?
Nah,
So
definitely. That's bro.
when should we expect the release of the hot sauce, bro? Like the official public, like roughly.
Roughly, I'm hoping within the next month I have like marketing and everything done for it. Just local stuff. I don't plan on shipping just yet, but just to start locally, just to go out there and do what I got to do, and then you'll see, you know what I mean. On social media, I'll be out there more. JavStopPlayin, all platforms. Just putting my food out there more and just being more comfortable. Not more comfortable, but just being out there more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because now is a time where I feel that people know what I do, and I know what I do, but I feel like I should be doing more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like showing more.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I'm just going to show more of myself, just being more creative.
Not
and,
too much.
not chill. OnlyFans, let me stop.
All platforms.
All platforms. You know what I'm saying?
I'll stop playing.
Stop playing.
No G.
No G.
That's funny. We got it. Oh shit. Nah, I feel you with that. I'm on the same thing, bro. I've been on a very creative streak, very focused. Especially since the baby came, it's helped me reprioritize everything, and I feel you 100% on everything you're saying. It's not a comfort thing. It's just we need to do more. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Yeah.
And I was just talking to Chris actually about how we do need to do more. But I found for me, that's why I changed my schedule starting this week, because I found that you need to do more, but there's a certain level where you're not going to be able to sustain that energy. You know what I mean? And you're going to have times, peaks and valleys, where you really want to push it and really, but know that it's going to kind of settle down a little bit. But I'm trying to find that homeostasis. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that level playing field where I'm putting out 100% effort and not dying out. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand that completely, and I feel like that's where I was. Mm-hmm. That's where the hot sauce came into play, because I don't have to put in so much effort in creating a menu consistently and trying to go out and deliver food and putting everything out you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing so much. And so for me, it's more of a sense of like, I'm developing more of me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I've just started accepting that I am a chef. Like, I consider myself a chef. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And because I do this. I don't care what nobody says. I do this. I can hang with the best of them. I know I can.
That mindset is what's changing.
And and mainly for that is, I just want to be better for myself, and I want to be better for my family. You know what I mean? And as long as I can do more, I will do more. That's it. Like, that's what it comes down to. And I feel like you can get in a state of complacency because you want to be there for your family so much. Like, because you're so used to like trying to hone in memorable moments, and you trying to be there with the kids, you try to do so much to appease everybody else, but you forget about you. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, I love this shit. I really do love cooking. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm doing this for me, and the fruits of my labor will be produced. Yep. You know what I mean? And everybody else will enjoy the fruit. You know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to.
I'm with it.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
I like it.
I appreciate y'all having me
on everything.
Nah, definitely, bro.
Episode 6, JavStopPlayin.
I'm glad we got you
episode.
in on the single digits. You know what I'm saying? So you could say you was up there in the ranking of chronological.
The original episodes.
That don't ever affect me. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this come into fruition from when you guys were in school. You know what I mean? Y'all friendship blossomed from when y'all was in school.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? My brother, from a child to where he is now. You know what I mean? I remember when he was born, I was in the bathtub playing with Spider-Man toys from McDonald's.
that was when they had good toys at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so, but, I am proud of both of you.
Thank you, bro.
I'm happy to see everything keep continuously growing. You know what I mean? And I'm happy for y'all. I'm very happy for both.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
I love y'all to death.
Love you too, bro.
And
love
you
you,
know
bro.
what it is. So Y'all already know what it is.
Love,
Elevate
bro.
Barbering. Stop playing. Love always. We out here.
Let's get it.
Episode 6.
That's
a
it.
wrap.
Boy.